Welcome to Inside Blockchain Podcast. My name is Tony Obiajuru, but you can call me Tony Talks. What I intend to achieve with this podcast is to help you make sense of the blockchain industry and how this amazing technology is redefining work, setting new paradigm shifts in businesses, and helping to reshape societal interaction. I bring you Inside Blockchain Podcast, the most intellectual source of discuss with industry leaders and enthusiasts. Now here's just a brief disclaimer. All opinions shared by our guests on this podcast are exclusively their own opinions. They do not suggest investment recommendations of their companies, neither should you take this information as an investment advice, as you are solely responsible for your own investments. On today's episode, we will be discussing one of the proof of stakes protocols, which is the IOST Ecosystem. My guest today on the show is M.B.J, and he is the marketing director at IOST. He will be joining me all the way from China, and we will be looking at everything that has to do with the IOST ecosystem. Hello, M.B.J, how are you doing?
Hi Tony, how are you?
Yeah, you're welcome.
My name is Bingjing, and currently I work at IOST in charge of marketing. Nice to meet you all here.
Yeah, you're welcome on board the show. So tell us a bit about yourself, okay, before we go straight into the IOST ecosystem.
So before joining the company, I actually worked in finance industry. I used to work in Paris and at a French bank. And later, I just found that blockchain technology is really exciting, and we've had many pain points when working at the bank. So later, I decided to join a blockchain startup and decided to be all in blockchain. So that's where I came from, and that's what I'm currently doing.
Okay. So how long have you been in the space?
You mean in blockchain, right?
Yes, in blockchain.
Yeah, so it has been almost 1 year when doing blockchain.
Okay, great. I'm so sure the experience must have been an exciting one, and that leads me to talking about your project. The project that you guys are running, which is the IOST Ecosystem. Okay, so can you tell us what this project is about?
Okay, IOST is actually short for Internet of Services Token. It is a public chain which currently focuses on B2C business and blockchain industry. And since the launch of the mainnet, currently we have more than 300 teams and institutes who have joined IOST as node partners. IOST also developed a complete DApp ecosystem with massive users. And now we are the fourth biggest public chain in blockchain industry, just after Ethereum, EOS, and Tron. Yeah.
Okay, great. Now, we saw recently the exciting launch of Emoji Network. Can you tell us more about that and how that works?
Yeah, as you know, that IOST itself is actually a public chain. And as I mentioned, we're currently focusing on B2C business. We just want to bring more added value to our users, and by incubating, investing on lots of new projects, which includes Emoji project. So before the Emoji project was established by one of our co-founder, whose name is Ray. So this project was launched in Latin America and has really just and it was developed. And later, this application was initially launched as a traditional internet application. Okay. For short videos and the news portal. So based on this project, there are two applications. One is Burmy and another one is Terminal. So
Okay.
Terminal is actually a crypto news portal, focuses on North American and European markets with high net value users. And Burmy, which is currently a more important application, is focusing on short videos, just like TikTok.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
so so it has great it has done yeah it has done a, yeah it has done a really great job in Latin America. As you can see that the rankings on the application on Google Play is always one of the top. So just it even surpassed Snapshot and
Oh, wow.
Instagram during a certain period of time. So it is a really great application in Latin America, and everyone is using that. So it targets to more than I think in Latin America there are more than 500 million people, right? So here's the target, and many of the users. There are many users there. So later when when reviewing this project, we were considering why not changing it into a blockchain application. Why we insert because the application yeah because the application is inserted with a kind of economic model at its very initial stage, so it can be directly trans transformed into token economy model. So that's what we're doing. We issued a Burmy token, which currently named as a Emoji token,
Okay.
based on IOST mainnet. So we are using IRC 20 standard and issue this new token. And later, all the users and Emoji application will become IOST's will also become IOST's mainnet users. And
Right.
and there's another interesting which happened recently.
Yeah, go ahead.
As you can see, the downfall of the Argentina economy,
Yeah, exactly.
and we see there's a really high increase of and we see that there's a really evident increase of demand of blockchain technology application in Latin American markets, and and cryptocurrency can be really promising in the
Yeah,
future in this
yeah.
area.
It's actually the future.
And then and we just just months before we even got contacted by president of Ecuador, I think. It just one just the yeah so so actually the president was quite interested in this application, and we got so surprised because it is even noticed by the government. So
Wow.
based on this application and this token economy, apart from the usage of emoji tokens in this application itself, we're trying to to swift or transfer these original users into IOST mainnet users, and this application can be considered as a real massive adoption of IOST's blockchain technology. That's why we are we're focusing on this project for the moment, and that's why we put so many high expectations on this application. And as you can see that as a startup, the startups are not very good at B2B business. As IBM or as Coda, you can focus on finance. You can change the banking industry. You can change the supply chain. But for a startup, we don't have enough resources to apply blockchain technology
Yeah.
into
Yeah,
real
very true.
industries. But on the other hand, we have a really strong team. We have a team who can be really strong in internet industry and who know our users really well. So we're focusing on these applications apart from the decentralized application, apart from staking economy. We're also incubating new projects, because this is the only way how mainnet technology can be adopted in real use cases.
All
Yeah,
right, MBJ.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we were also seeing that. Also saw, yeah.
Yeah, you mentioned the team that you guys have together. I took out time to study your platform. That is, I visited your website and I checked out the team that are behind that amazing project. And I must confess that you guys have got quite a young and very very committed team members. That's great. That's great. Let's talk about the two applications you've mentioned already. Just a bit before we continue with our conversation, what are the reward structure or the reward model for these applications, most especially for end users?
Just take Emoji as an example.
Mm-hmm.
When a user log in the application,
Mm-hmm.
maybe he could have some daily logins or something like that, and
Yeah.
then he can get rewarded just for for gaining a very good performance in DAU, and that's quite reasonable because every application is doing the same thing. But on the other hand, when commenting on these videos, when uploading new videos, and when sharing videos,
Mm-hmm.
in turn, these activities can get rewarded,
Oh,
and
okay.
people can convert the original token in this application into real currency,
Mm-hmm.
like pesos or dollars or
Mm-hmm.
something like that, just local currencies.
Mm-hmm.
So 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 it's just like some kind of cryptocurrency when it is originally released, and later when it is on blockchain, it can be totally completely transformed into cryptocurrency. So that's how the rewarding system
Works.
runs, and based on blockchain technology, yeah, these tokens can be the whole mechanism can be decentralized because all the information and all the data can be issued on chain. So that's what blockchain brings to the original economic model, and that's how and that's also the way how people can get rewarded on these applications. I think on when you input some keywords like Burmy or emoji, you can see
Mm-hmm.
there are many KOLs on YouTube
Mm-hmm.
who are instructing their users how to get rewarded through using Burminal, through using this application.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. That's awesome. That's awesome. Okay, so MBJ, thank you so much. What other dApps or developments can you say excite you the most on the IOST ecosystem?
Okay, so I would like to say, every centralized application IOST can be really, really exciting because those dApps are selected by our team, and we reached out to these teams and negotiated and communicated with them, and finally they got all released on an IOST mainnet. Well, one of the most exciting dApp I would like to say can be the dApp that we are going to release recently. This is actually used to be a traditional game, traditional game, really with really famous IP, and everybody knows that in China. And
Okay.
later they're going to be transformed into blockchain games. So our team is actually offering them a complete blockchain solutions to change this game into a real blockchain game. So everybody is looking forward to this, and we just had a contract signing ceremony at the beginning of this week. So yeah, just keep an eye on this, and we're going to release that later.
All
The
right.
combination of Chinese culture and with some legends, and everything in this tab can be exactly like the traditional games, because as you can see that every public chain project is focusing on gambling game or some kind of
Mm-hmm.
some dice games or something like that. And we don't, we just want to change the current situation, and we just want to bring to our users with better quality and better user experience. So that's what we're currently doing, and later all these games can be much better than those normal DApp games.
Okay, so let's look at the time frame. When do you think this particular application is going to be launched? How soon?
You mean this application?
Yes, this one you're talking about.
It's going to be completed during, I think within 1 or 2 months.
Oh,
So actually,
okay.
the team is focusing on that because that's the reason why that our team is helping them, because these are traditional developers who
Okay.
who focused on traditional, games before. They have no idea about what smart contract is, what token economy is. So we're going to help them to blockchainize.
All right. Now, M.B.J, I know that IOST is a global decentralized network. Okay. Let's talk about its plans for Africa. So, what would you say are the opportunities for African developers? All right, in this particular ecosystem, how can Africa benefit from this amazing project?
I think, yeah. Well, honestly, I used to work in Africa before. I used to stay in Western Africa
Oh wow.
several months. Yeah, I just lived there before, so I really know what bankarization, what the situation of bankarization, and what the situation of local economy there. I also found some, some companies, especially telecommunication companies, are focusing on fintech,
Mm-hmm.
especially payment and international transactions, etc. And I see this as a really good trend. And just take Latin American example. I think market is really similar to Latin America, and every market demands, like the international transactions, the payment, etc., can be exactly the same case like in Latin America. So what IOST can bring to African market, first
Mm-hmm.
of all, is provide an alternative payment method to local market, because the inflation of local African cryptocurrency can be really extreme. The price changes every day, and everybody's using dollars there.
Mm-hmm.
But by through using IOST, the cryptocurrency, we can change a bit this kind of situation. At least it can be an alternative payment method. And because it's still in Africa, the bankarization, just like take Guinea as an example, it can be lower than 30%, which means every citizen does not have their own bank account, but through opening a mainnet account by using cryptocurrency, we can change the situation. We can we
Okay.
can we can bring much more convenient transactions to everybody. That's
Mm-hmm.
that's one of the use case that I can imagine. And another thing is through using the decentralized applications, especially actually I saw that the internet development especially the telecommunications
Mm-hmm.
company there are quite strong, and now in Africa they have 3G, even 4G.
Mm-hmm.
So so I don't think that the internet is bad as the outside imagined. So
Yeah, I
so
know, right?
through using this, mobile devices, you can get access to the decentralized applications. That's just like using a normal, a normal application, and decentralized application can be smaller and more convenient. So that's also can be considered as one of the added value that our project can bring to African market. And on the other hand, as you can see that we have years we have partners in Africa. We have many people who are interested in blockchain technology in Africa. So in this way, we can promote, we can work with African developers to promote this project, and to help them to explore more potentialities in blockchain technology application in African markets, especially in agriculture and industry,
Okay,
etc.
yeah. All right. So you just mentioned that you guys are in partnership with some African blockchain projects. Would you like to mention quite a few? And is IOST open for more partnerships?
But yeah, we're looking for more partnerships. I think, yeah, just like IOST Medi is is one of our African partners, node partner, and yeah, just as I said, I lived in Africa for a while, so and personally, I'm quite interested in Kenyan market and Nigerian market, because fintech there I think that there are many Chinese companies there, and everybody, and even Binance was there. So,
Yeah,
so everybody
Binance.
is,
Yeah.
yeah, everybody in blockchain is looking for opportunities in the African market. Yeah.
So there's an opportunity that there will be more partnerships. Okay, great. So we have actually come towards the end of the show. Thank you so much for being with me. But before I let you go, M.B.J, what are your final comments? What are your final remarks? What would you like to say to our listeners before you call it?
Yeah, just it is really yeah. I would say I just want to say thank you to the IOST Mehdi to give us this chance, to introduce our project and to help us to promote our brand in the African market. And later, our project is going to have further moves, especially after releasing this new version of roadmap. As you can see, that we're more focusing on commercialization of our blockchain technology, and we keep releasing new projects like Emoji, like later, recently we also incubated new gaming platforms named as Block. So we're trying to lower the barrier for DApp users and blockchain users, and later we're going to release more these exciting products. So keep an eye on this project, and still we're welcoming more and more partners in Africa who can join us, who can work with us, and who can help to promote this project in African countries. Yeah.
All right.
Thank
So
you.
for a moment, these applications, are they accessible to users from Africa? Like, can I?
Yeah, we said
It's on the
yeah.
Google Play Store, so I can just go on the Google Play Store to download the applications and begin to interact with it.
They have their own site,
Okay.
and yeah, some of them are listed on Google Play, and some of them have their own site.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, M.B.J. It's been an interesting conversation with you. Okay. And that's it on today's episode of Inside Blockchain Podcast. Don't forget to visit our website at cryptotvplus.com for news updates, trends, sources, and materials. You can follow us across our social media platforms at Crypto TV Plus. And you can also listen to our podcast series at cryptopodcast.live and follow our radio shows at cryptopodcast.live/live-radio. My name is Tony Obiajuru. Until I come your way next time, bye-bye.